Las Vegas Raiders yet, and what would it get to mean to you to get to play with that team with all those weapons like Devontae Adams, Jacoby Myers, all those guys?
I have met with them on the second day, so I believe that was Wednesday.
How'd that meeting go?
It went really well. Loved all the coaches. They just, have great energy, great questions, great interaction. It would mean a lot to play with those guys, but it would mean a lot to play with any, one of the great players in the NFL. But it was awesome.
J.J., have you met with the Tampa on the formal meeting with the Broncos?
It was awesome. Coach Payton's energy, Coach Webb, Coach Lombardi. It was just really great to be in that room with them and go through tape. It was honestly a really fun time. So it was a blessing to just, pick their brains a little bit and have them, just shoot me questions left and right. And, I really enjoyed it.
J.J., have you met with Sean Payton? How do you see yourself with him?
Fellow Illinois guy, absolutely would be an honor to play for him. And, just everything about this process has been so great, and any team who selects me, it would be an honor.
J.J., have you met with the Patriots yet? If so, how did the conversation go?
Yes, sir, I have, and they went amazing. Coach Mayo, just awesome guy, asking really great questions. You could definitely tell he's been around this process a long time and been a part of it, and, it's just great interactions again. Would be an honor to be part of their organization.
Have you met with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers?
I have, yes, sir.
Is that a formal or informal?
Formal.
How did that meeting go?
Amazing. Once again, great interactions, great guys. Like I said before, it would be a blessing to be able to play for them.
You didn't pass as much as some of the quarterbacks in this particular class. What people don't understand is you had some of the best grade stats in the nation this year because of your good decision making. What leads to that process? Like, is it coaching? Is it just like how you play the game? What you just constantly make good decisions?
It's honestly just the mentality behind it. Obviously, it's coaching. Obviously, it's a build-up of the chemistry with the receivers, being on the same page as Coach Moore. But, it's just playing one play at a time, and, you never get each play back. So just trying to focus in on, doing the best I can within each play, whatever's asked of me, whether it's, handoff and carrying out my fake or ripping an in cut, on the backside of a concept. So it's, something that, the play calling's out of my control, but whatever's in my control, I'm going to do it to the best of my ability.
J.J., what's your scouting report on J.J. McCarthy?
I would say, tough, gritty guy who only cares about winning at the end of the day. Loves the game of football with a burning passion, loves his teammates. Just pretty much everything you would want in a starting quarterback, I would say.
J.J., you mentioned being an Illinois guy.
Yes, sir.
The
Grange Park, yes, sir.
Sorry.
You good?
So you won the 3 straight state championship games there in the Grange Park.
Yes, sir.
What do you remember from that year?
Coach Racky, my head coach at Nazareth Academy, just everything he's instilled in me and my teammates is something that, not only makes us great football players, but greater men at the end of the day, and really starts that foundation of having great intangibles. So that's something, that I remember. Of course, the locker room, of course, the great teammates around me. It was just so much fun in those 3 years, and, I can't wait to get back there with the reunion one day.
J.J., back in high school, did you ever imagine you would be at this point, top quarterbacks in the draft?
Yes, sir. This was definitely, I didn't know when or where, but it was going to be, a stepping stone in my journey to ultimately everything that I've been working for since, 7 years old.
As the years go by, you put the work in, you win games, it's kind of experience, the work is showing.
Stats for me wasn't really the big thing. All I cared about was being the best teammate I could possibly be, being, the best quarterback I could possibly be, whatever's asked of me. And the only stat I cared about was W's, and we did pretty good in that category.
We've all seen meditating before games, about the mental side.
I would say, it helps me the most because no matter where you are in life, no matter what, position you're in, as long as you're in the present moment, you're going to perform at the most optimal state as you can. And, that's something that, creates discipline, creates a foundation of just being able to be responsive to things instead of react to things and be able to dictate your day more. So it's just another tool that's going to help me handle the process, like you said, and the pressure. But, yeah, it's just ultimately something that's going to help me in all areas of life, not just football.
Do you have any goals for the on-field testing? You've got some great athleticism. Any times you're looking to cross?
More of a process guy, so I'm just worried about, focusing on my fundamentals, focusing on, just doing the best of my possible ability, and, we'll see what happens from there.
J.J., what do you want to showcase here this week on the field?
kept guiding?
Showcase, how I throw the Duke, because I absolutely love it. And, that's something that is most important for a quarterback, obviously, but also just the way I move in, short distances with the shuttles and everything like that. And, obviously the most important part is getting in front of teams and interacting with them. Yeah.
What do you want to impress upon in these intimate meetings with these teams about you at the quarterback position?
I would say just let them know who I am. That's something that, a lot of people don't know. And, it's not just, putting on a front. Like, I want them to actually understand that I truly love the game of football. I truly love my teammates and want to do nothing but win football games.
JJ, have you met with the Raiders?
Drafted by the Raiders, you would be going up against Coach Harbaugh twice a year. What would that be like?
That'd be a little interesting, looking across the field and seeing them in the baby blue. But, it would be an honor just being on that field in general, no matter who's across the sideline. But, yeah, there'd definitely be some, nice emotional hugs afterwards. For sure.
JJ, have you met with the Raiders?
Amazing dude. Just asked so many great questions. Definitely somebody I could see myself playing for.
JJ, there's a video of you throwing the ball to Blake Moore in the hallway.
Yeah, I don't know how that got out there.
Yeah, was it kind of anything that I got to do fast?
Definitely, yeah. Blake was telling me, he feels like he could have done a lot more in that area, and he's going to run some routes at Pro Day from the slot, so that'll be another sight to see for you guys.
Have you had a chance to catch Coach Harbaugh?
I did see him. It was right before my Seattle interview, and funny story. He walked in there, obviously all love, all hugs and all that. And as he was leaving, the Seattle Seahawks guys were saying, "Oh, you wouldn't be in here if Coach Carroll was still our head coach." So that was a good one, but it was great seeing him.
JJ, what do you think about your meeting with the Giants? Stick out in any way?
I really loved how, I drew up a play that, I could run against or run in every situation, 3rd down, 4th down, 1st and 2nd, all that good stuff. And then, the coaches were kind of changing my verbiage and making it their own. It was really nice to kind of get a feel of, what that offense would be like. And it was actually a lot more simple. So that's good.
JJ, growing up in the Chicago area, think about playing at Soldier Field, playing for the Bears possibly?
Yeah, it's been one of my dreams of mine, whether I'm playing for the Bears or against them. But, yeah, Soldier Field, one of the oldest stadiums in America. And, just growing up going to all the games and, being part of a halftime thing where I was Player of the Week in Illinois, something that would be, truly a dream come true.
What have your interactions been like with the Bears so far?
Been great. Formal interview. It was awesome just, watching tape with them, going over, our plays a little bit, and, they got me up on the boards and retained some information, and we did pretty well, so it was awesome. I'm not a big comparison guy. I'm just somebody, obviously I take bits and pieces from other players' games, but I try to make it my own and be the best version of myself, because there's only one J.J. McCarthy, just like there's only one Tom Brady, only one Joe Burrow, all those guys.
JJ, what advice would you give young high school players that you would have had when you were that age about getting here today?
I would say enjoy it when it's not a job. Just that camaraderie you get with the teammates that most of them are never going to play football again. Those are so invaluable, and I would say never leave any stone unturned. There's so many ways to develop, there's so many ways to get better, and ultimately the last thing I would say is chase that suffering, chase that, short-term period where you're struggling and you hate to do it, because ultimately, it's going to lead to a better life in the long run. For me personally, I'm not worried about that. I'm worried about, just being my best self, and worried about, later down the road eventually being one of the best quarterbacks in the NFL. That's the only thing I care about. This draft class is obviously loaded. A lot of older guys, a lot of really good talent. But at the end of the day, I'm just going to focus on being myself, focus on grinding every day, and hopefully being one of the best in the league.
What makes you unique compared to all the other first-round quarterbacks in this league?
I would say just my ultimate selflessness, my ultimate love for the game, and I don't know a lot of the guys that meditate, so I guess that makes me unique.
How does playing in big championship games, the number that you did, just kind of swallow a lot of your confidence?
Good to see you, Ed. I would say, being in those moments, whether it's, out there visualizing on the field, going through every situation, you win the game in your mind. But when you actually win the game on the field and you experience all the sensations of doing it on that big stage, it just gives you so much more confidence. And with experience comes wisdom, and that's invaluable.
JJ, you've always been, you keep talking about, and have for a long time, being team guy. But this is about you, right? How are you sort of balancing that?
I would say that, that's who I am, being a team guy. It's not something that I'm going to start being, selfish now because I have to sell myself more. I'm going to sell myself on how much I care about my teammates. And it kind of goes hand in hand with just who I am as a person is, being selfless and always caring about the guy next to me more than myself. And that's just something that's innate and I really can't change. Steelers? I have not, no sir. I have not, no, and no team surprised me.
Have you met with the Raiders?
The Raiders?
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
How did that go?
It went great. Asked great questions, great interactions. Coach Pierce was awesome, great energy. Coach Getsy, great seeing him. Coach Campbell used to play for him, so that was really cool. That was my quarterback coach out of Michigan. And it was just awesome interactions.
JJ,
I don't know, I feel like I would get slighted, but something around like, give myself 94, something like that, 94. I don't know. Just people, haven't seen much, so obviously they're going to think, the worst, because that's how we do it nowadays.
Are you planning on doing the full workout tomorrow?
I won't jump and I won't run the 40 just because I have a little hammy tightness, but I'll throw, I'll do the shuttles and do all that.
JJ, when you're discussing your selflessness with teams, what do you use for examples? The second half of the Penn State game, what do you use?
Yeah, that was a big one that came up, and it was kind of the ability, especially that example, to let them know, hey, my teammates were, like the receivers specifically, were not very excited when Coach Moore was saying, hey, it's going to be one of those games. But just letting them know the process of, the approach I took during that time of just saying, hey, guys, this is a huge part in our quest to becoming national champions. And, not necessarily saying that I was the only selfless one, but telling the guys that my teammates were very selfless in that, in that situation. And just, explaining situations like that and just ultimately letting them know, and the first thing, 3 things about me is I'm the ultimate team guy, want to win games, and I love this game more than anything.
I'm not sure.
Yes, sir.
Too far back.
Went amazing. Coach O'Connell led the whole thing, and just being able to see him in person, he was a lot taller than I thought, and Coach McCown, and just everything about what they were talking about, everything about what they wanted out of a quarterback is something that aligns with what I want. And just being able to, get on the board with them, have them go through their plays, it was something really special, and I enjoyed it.
JJ, how do you think Sharon Moore is going to do?
Amazing. Just the most important quality of a head coach at the University of Michigan is being a Michigan man, and he's got that. He's earned his stripes, and the boys love him. They're behind him, and with those 2 things, they're going to be successful no matter what.
Hey, more guys.
Winning games, I feel like.
Say that one time. Sorry, I get a little dry. I would say just the overall energy, it was my first one, so I was like super nervous, I'm not going to lie, and sweating a little bit. And, Coach Quinn was just awesome. I got to talk to Mr. Peters right before the meeting, and, just a great vibe, very welcoming, and, going through the clips and everything. And Coach Cliff Kingsbury was just like, hey, if you get a matchup out here and you really like it, could you just, switch it to go on the outside? And I was telling him, like, I wish. Just little stuff like that. And, it was just great to meet them, great to, talk ball with them, and I had a lot of fun doing it.
One more for JJ.
Say that one more time.
The NFL, you wanted to table that talk.
What was the conversation going to be like when you were discussing about that draft?
It was quite easy, honestly. You know, he was somebody that was like, hey, I'm out here thinking of you if you were my son. And he told me, I want you to go because, you know, your draft stock, it could get higher, but not that much higher. And it's just an opportunity you don't want to pass up. And, you know, just hearing that from him just gave me so much more confidence because that was kind of where my head was leaning towards. And, you know, just hearing that was amazing.
This was before the last one.
No, you're good. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Sorry. We're getting loaded. It's great seeing you guys. Thank you so much.